innocent cartoons with disturbing origins. Yo, chat, before Cinderella has dark origin, bruh.
Some of our favorite childhood cartoons have backstories that are totally inappropriate for kids. And in this video, we're gonna uncover them. These are cartoon characters with disturbing backstories. We'll start with the lighter cases and work our way to the most shocking. So my goal this year, guys, is to increase our uploads without sacrifice.
Yo, there was this video I watched, like it was years ago. They were talking about a lot, like how Disney cartoons have dark or whatever.
In quality, but I'm not gonna lie, it's harder than I imagined, but I'm not gonna give up. So something that would help a ton
this guy's
is if you guys could subscribe, and I promise to do my very best to make the best videos I can for you guys. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome.
Yes, sir.
Peter Pan. The world calls Peter Pan a hero, but is he really? In the original story, he ends innocent people. Most people think he's a good guy because of the way Disney portrays him. The cartoon was a hit, making $87 million on a $4 million budget. But Disney's cheerful movie doesn't match the original character. The real story was written by J.M. Barrie in 1904. That's over 100 years ago. Barrie was obsessed with the concept of eternal boyhood, so he wrote Peter Pan, the story of a boy who stayed young forever. But it wasn't a celebration of—
Wait, isn't he? I was gonna say, isn't he the guy? Isn't he the kid that every time when he lie, his nose goes long? It's not him, right? I'm sorry. Okay, but I watched some though. Okay.
Childhood. The story was about fear, about what happens when someone is so terrified of growing up that they will do anything to stop it. The story began with Peter flying through the streets of London. He was searching for kids to take to Neverland.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
Where are we going? To Neverland. Neverland? Peter's taking us.
Us?
He promised them a world with no rules.
Yo. I didn't watch this cartoon yet, but like, why Neverland sound creepy? Neverland? Yo, that name gotta sound creepy. Neverland? I don't know, that sounds creepy.
Parents, no responsibilities. The children arrived in Neverland believing they found free. Peter had a secret reason for bringing them. He was
I bet this is everybody's childhood. You know, they want to go on a land with no parents, you know, just them and having fun with other kids. I bet this is all kids' imaginations.
Building an army. Peter Pan had enemies, the pirates.
It's actually a perpetual war going on between pirates and these lost boys.
He needed soldiers for this war.
So Peter is luring these children to come fight as child soldiers in his army.
It's right here, y'all.
Yeah. Santa Claus coming to night. Psych. It ain't Christmas yet, yo.
Kids came for fun, but they ended up battling pirates. The pirates appeared in Disney's version too, but there was one huge difference. In Disney's story, Peter fought the pirates without trying to hurt them. But in the original, Peter slaughtered pirates without hesitation, and he expected the kids to do the same. But that wasn't the only horror in Neverland. Peter didn't want adults there. Neverland was meant to be a land of eternal youth, but children can't stop themselves from growing, and when they did, Peter dealt with them. Here's a quote from Barrie's original work. When they seem to be growing up, which is against the rules, Peter thins them out. Thins them out was a polite way of saying something extreme. Peter ended anyone who grew up.
And that's the trick of Neverland.
Yo, you see, I knew the name Neverland was creepy. So kids will go there, right? And then if they grow up into like to 18 plus adult, he's gonna kill all of them because they grown up. Like, come on, man.
Is either because the pirates kill you or Peter does.
In Peter's twisted mind, he was protecting the magic of childhood by any means necessary. When the old bad—
So if he promised you Neverland, he's gonna kill you either way. Okay? Yo, for my Disney fans out there, if you watch this cartoon and you know the story now, I'm very sorry for you. You must be traumatized right now. You must be having seizure, right? I think that's the word. Seizure. I can't even speak.
Kids was finished, Peter didn't mourn. He simply flew back to London to find replacements, and the cycle started again. Disney knew this part of the story, but they hid it. They turned a villain into a hero and made Peter Pan a beloved childhood character. The creator of this next cartoon later regretted. Winnie the Pooh.
I know I'm gonna be boring, bro. I don't care, bro. Not everything you watch is rainbow and sunshine, bro. There's something behind everything, bro. Like, bro, you have to do your research. You never know, Snow White. There could be like something behind Snow White, or like Frozen 1 and 2, whatever.
Winnie the Pooh was massive. The franchise has made more than $80 billion. That money came from books, toys, t-shirts, and even potty chairs. But behind the soft and cuddly bear is a dark story. A story that ruined a young man's life and ripped his family apart. The story begins with a writer named Alan Milne.
Alexander Milne was rather successful successful writer even before the first poems and books about Pooh saw the light.
Alan had a son named Christopher Robin. Alan adored his little boy. On Christopher's first birthday, Alan bought him a teddy bear. At first, Christopher called the bear Edward. Then he visited the London Zoo and saw a Canadian black bear named Winnie. After that, little Christopher decided to rename his bear Winnie. The Pooh part came from a swan he liked. That teddy bear became Christopher's best friend. He carried it everywhere.
Yo, Chad, you know, it's very interesting, right? When someone want to name something, they just look at something and then they're like, oh, I want to name them a wall. And then when they want to name it another name, but like last name, or like another name, like the third, they just see another thing and then they like you know how Raising Cain, right? Raising Cain, it was a build by
Christopher collected more stuffed animals. There was a donkey, a piglet, a tiger, and more. Alan watched his son play with those toys and got inspired. He began writing stories about a boy named Christopher Robin and his stuffed animals. In 1926, the first book was published. It was titled Winnie the Pooh.
And then the books featuring all those characters. There was Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Eeyore and Tigger.
The book was an instant hit. Kids wanted more. So in 1928, Alan released a second book, The House at Pooh Corner. Alan thought his son would be proud to see himself in the stories, but the reality was very different. Winnie the Pooh became a curse for Christopher. Christopher was 8 when the second book came out. The stories made him famous, but not in a good way. Kids at school mocked him. They sang poems.
Of course they're gonna mock him. Yo, if you're a kid, you're famous on books, of course they're gonna mock you. Like, but whether it's a good story or a bad story,
from the books.
Someone
They teased him
always
for
find
playing with
something
stuffed
to-
animals. They called him a baby. Christopher was miserable. Soon he hated his own name. It was so easy to connect him to Christopher Robin from the books. By the time he turned 18, he blamed his dad for his horrible childhood. Christopher felt used, like his father stole his childhood for profit.
Felt that his father got to where he was by climbing on top of his infant shoulders, by exploiting his childhood.
Christopher joined the military. He thought serving his country would make people see him differently. But even in the army, soldiers
he joined
mocked
the
him
army.
because of Winnie the Pooh. After the war, Christopher tried to live a quiet
Yo, even the soldier mocked him, bruh. Life is crazy, bruh.
life. He gave up all rights to the money from Winnie the Pooh. He married, moved to the countryside, and opened up a small bookshop. But even there, people connected him to Winnie. Soon, people weren't visiting his bookshop to buy books. They wanted to meet the real Christopher Robin. The worst part was his relationship with his parents. They barely spoke. In 1956, his father Alan passed away. Christopher did not attend the funeral. But even before Alan passed, he admitted his regret. He wished he never created Winnie the Pooh. But it was too late. The damage was already done. Christopher spent the rest of his life as a bookseller. He was remembered by locals as a kind man. Christopher Robin couldn't escape his stolen identity. People wouldn't stop connecting him to a character he wanted nothing to do with.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a dark story. I don't care what.
Up next is one of the most intense backstories ever tied to a cartoon.
Okay, what is
Teenage
it?
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to the power. Yo, that was a great show, bro. Wait, what's dark about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? TMNT, what's dangerous about this?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a wild idea. It was about 4 turtles trained as ninjas who were fighting crime, and their dad was a giant rat. It sounded ridiculous, but it became one of the most popular animated series in television history. Even I used to watch it all the time. It was great. But the turtles didn't start as goofy cartoon characters. Their original form was so violent and disturbing that no parent would have let their child watch. To see how far they've come, you have to go back to 1984, the year the turtles were born. It started as a joke. In 1983, 2 artists were brainstorming. Then one sketched something ridiculous.
Eastman whips up a sketch to try and make Laird laugh. It's a turtle with nunchucks strapped to his arms. Laird grabs a piece of paper and
I'm not gonna lie, that looks funny. That looks like a drawing of a beginner, of course. That makes it a joke, and then they're gonna turn it into a
does his own rendition.
The joke didn't stay a joke. They turned it into a comic book called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Although the sketches were funny, the comic itself was brutal. From the first issue, the violence was uncomfortable.
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number...
Why do you look like a villain though?
Violence was uncomfortable.
Yo, Why they look like a villain in this moment?
Comfortable.
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number
I meant to
1,
press the
the
boom
Turtles
sound, but
were
it's okay.
basically hitmen determined to get Shredder.
For context, Shredder was their main enemy. In the comic, the
Okay.
Turtles cornered him on a rooftop. Then they proceeded to hurt him really bad. What came next made it
Okay.
even darker. After pummeling Shredder, the Turtles gave him a sword. They told him to finish the job himself, if you get what I mean. Shredder refused.
I'ma still watch it though, you know what I'm saying? The show is dope, you feel me? I mean, but like, all jokes aside, you know what's scary, bro, in movies or TV shows? Like, bro, when they tell you, and then they be like, here the sword, kill yourself. Nah, boy, that's how you know that that person is a menace. Finish the job for yourself, bruh.
So they threw him off the roof. The gore didn't end there. In
No,
another
no, no,
issue,
no,
they
no,
hurled
no, 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 no. They threw him off the roof, bro. Off the roof. I cannot even speak. They threw him off the roof. Yo, this is why, bro, if you really care, you have to just look like behind the story of like a cartoon or whatever. Cause bro, there's no way like something like very good started very good. Cause I don't know, there's like always something behind it.
Another time, they drowned someone in a fountain. They also used swear words all the time. One reader said they weren't so
Swear
much
words?
heroes as they were a bunch of mutant ninja assassins. How could someone pick up this comic book and go, hey, this would make a great lighthearted Saturday morning cartoon is beyond me. And it wasn't just the Turtles. Nearly every major character in the comic was...
Yo, I understand why parents they be always strict with their kids about the cartoon they watch. I mean, to be honest, bro, I don't know what to do with that situation if I'm a parent. Bro, what can I do except, of course, avoid my kids from watching cartoons that are like... I mean, of course, if there's a cartoon that is like Rainbow and Sunshine and then there's the story behind it. I mean, I don't know, maybe he could watch it, but like, if there's a cartoon where they show like that area, whatever, and then like, there's a curse word, okay, I'm not gonna let my kid watch that even though he's gonna be arrogant or she... Okay.
necessarily aggressive. There was a
Like,
robot
what are you
that
gonna
chewed
do
rats alive. The artist showed
when they
every
see good
detail, bones
cartoons?
cracking and all. Then there was Casey Jones, one of the Turtles' allies. He took down his enemies with a hockey stick. Every page leaned into violence. Nothing was hidden. So how did anyone think these turtles belonged in a kids cartoon? In 1987, a company wanted to sell Ninja Turtle action figures, but there was a problem. The comics were way too graphic. To make the toys marketable, the turtles had to be cleaned up. So an animation studio stepped in. They made a cartoon that turned the assassins into kid-friendly heroes.
Ninja pizza? Well, what do you know? Rock, dudes. Do you realize what this is?
The tone shifted from dark crime to playful action.
Let's show them the turtles know how to party.
Even today, fans who read the original comics
I'm not
are
gonna lie,
shocked
Michael
by
Angelo
how
is funny, though.
violent and weird the series was. Up next is a story that's the exact opposite of a happily ever after. The Little Mermaid. Disney's Little Mermaid can be summarized in one line. True love always wins. The main character, Ariel, got everything she wanted. She became human, married the prince, and enjoyed her life. But the original tale from 1836 was the opposite. The Little Mermaid was miserable.
Yo, all these creatures called siren, right? Is it siren? I mean mermaid. Anyway, bro, when there's a story about mermaid, yo, I gotta stay away, bro. Mermaid, bro, and in the dark stories, nah, bro, hell nah. I'm not reading that story. There's gotta be more darker.
And in
than
the end, she
mermaid.
passed away sad and alone. The original begins just like Disney's. A young mermaid saves a prince from drowning. She falls in love with him, and she wants to leave the sea to live on land with the prince. But the problem is obvious. As a mermaid, she doesn't have legs, which means she can't move on land. Her only option is to go to the sea witch for help. The witch makes her an offer.
At her, saying that she will give her a potion which needs to be drunk
drawing
at
like
the
this, bro,
shore
is
before
uncomfortable, bro.
sunrise. It will give her legs, but
Seeing drawing like this, bro, are very uncomfortable, bro. Like, it gives me the chill, like the type of bad chill. I don't know how to explain it.
it will come with excruciating pain.
The mermaid will become human, but she will lose her voice. She will never sing or speak again. And every step she takes will feel like walking on glass. That's not even the worst part of the deal.
Prince doesn't marry you, you will not get your soul. And the morning after he marries another, you will die and become sea foam.
In other words, if the prince marries someone else, the mermaid will pass away the very next day. Blinded by love, the mermaid accepts. She drinks the potion. When she wakes up on shore, she has legs, but the pain is real. Every step feels like walking on broken glass. Still, she endures it. She has one goal: win the prince's love before it's too late. The mermaid eventually finds the prince. They become...
Imagine the guy was like, hell nah, bro. You ain't my type. What are you talking about? You ain't my type. Okay, my type is black girl, bro. With curly hair, bro. Wait, if that's true, is that the reason why they created the movie? With that black actor? I'm over here chatting.
Friends, but because she has no voice, she cannot speak to him. She can't tell him she was the one who saved his life. The prince believes another princess rescued him. That misunderstanding ruins everything. Soon, the prince announces his engagement to that other princess. For the Little Mermaid, that is her death sentence. The wedding—
Wait. So if this mermaid doesn't marry that guy, he's gonna die. She's gonna die, right? I was gonna say something else.
Eventually takes place.
like,
As the mermaid
put
watches the
puzzles, I don't
ceremony,
know.
she remembers the witch's warning that she will die if he marries someone else. That night, her sisters rise from the sea with a desperate plan to save her.
We're here to save you,
cried the eldest sister.
They hand her a dagger. If she ends the prince before dawn, the curse will break. She can return to the—
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I know this is brutal, but this is what I was thinking also. What if the mermaid killed that guy? And then, like, would she be alive or would she be dead either way? But this is what he's talking about.
the ocean as a mermaid. In order for her to live, she must end the life of the man she loves.
It was either her life or his. She lowered the knife close to his heart, but then stopped.
But she can't do it. She throws the dagger into the sea and accepts her fate. As the sun rises the next morning, her body begins to fade away.
She thought she could feel her body dissolving into thousands
Yo, chat, if you end someone just to live longer, bro, you are very selfish. Yes, 100% you are very. How can you kill someone just because you want to live longer? Okay, like, wouldn't you feel guilt after that?
bubbles of sea foam. Soon, the Little Mermaid would be no more.
This was no fairy tale, it was a story of sacrifice, pain, and sadness. Hercules. Here's something most people don't know. Since 1950, there have been more than 50 films and TV shows about Hercules. He also appeared in tons of video games, including God of War.
Yep, it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark, bro. You see graphics like this, okay, it's gonna be dark. I don't know if this is Game of War. Oh, no, this is... Never mind, bro.
Assassin's Creed. Hercules also appeared in books, comics, toys, and more. Simply put, Hercules might be the most popular hero in human history. And in 1997, Disney made their own version. Their animated Hercules was a global hit. It made nearly 253.
Yo, watching through this video, no wonder Disney, they always like, you know, bring these like cool animations. I mean, these cool stories. Like, bro, these Disney people, bro, they be stealing these dark stories and turning it into a like kid friendly, bro. I know you're saying, oh, I don't care, I just want to enjoy the cartoon. Okay, fine, whatever. Are you not creeped out by these behind the stories like cartoons? Like, bro, no wonder Disney, they bring a lot of like these stories into like children, whatever.
$1 million worldwide. For millions of kids, bro, this was their first introduction to the character. But anyone who watched the cartoon got the wrong idea about Hercules. Disney's Hercules was funny, noble, and kind. The real Hercules was cursed by the gods, tormented by madness, and haunted by guilt. The original story comes from Greek myths dating back thousands of years. Hercules' problems began before he was even born. His father was Zeus, the king of the gods, but his mother was human. What started the whole mess was that Zeus was already married. His wife Hera was the queen of the gods. When she found out about the affair, she was furious. But Hera didn't blame her cheating husband. Instead, she focused her rage on the innocent child Hercules. To her, Hercules was a living reminder of Zeus's betrayal, so she vowed to destroy him. Her first attempt came when Hercules was still a baby.
She sent 2 poisonous serpents to kill the babies. The serpents slithered into the cradle where Hercules and his...
Yo, if you kill babies, you need help. If you do that, bro, you need help. Why would you do that? That baby just came to the world, bro. Okay. Alright.
Brother were sleeping.
The serpents were meant to strangle him as he slept. But even as baby Hercules had superhuman strength, he crushed the serpents with his bare hands. Hera's plan failed, but she wasn't done. She waited for the perfect moment to strike again. Hercules became the strongest man alive. He eventually married a woman named Megara. Together they had children and lived peacefully. But that happiness made him vulnerable. Hera knew Hercules could defeat any monster. So instead of sending beasts, she attacked his mind. Hera used her divine powers to make him temporarily insane. Suddenly, the strongest man in the world couldn't think clearly. In his madness, he saw monsters everywhere. He fought back with all his strength, but those weren't monsters. They were his wife and children.
Yo, that is messed up, bro. That is messed up, bro. You made his mind think that these people are monsters. I don't know how many people he killed, bro, but I bet there's a lot of blood over there. Bloodbath, bro. But this reminds me of a movie, though.
And he ended them. With the madness lifted, Hercules realized what he had done.
As he realized he had just committed the most unspeakable crime imaginable.
The guilt was unbearable. People who once called him a hero now saw him as a villain, but Hercules was given a chance at redemption.
The oracle tells Hercules that in order to atone for his sins, he must serve as the slave of King Eurystheus for 10 years.
But Eurystheus was now working with Hera. Now that Hercules was broken, they wanted to finish him once and for all. So the king gave Hercules 12 impossible tasks. These would become known as the 12 labors of Hercules. Each labor was designed to destroy him. For his first task, Hercules had to defeat the Nemean lion. Its skin was so tough that no weapon could cut it. But Hercules found another way to win.
But Hercules cornered the lion in its dark cave, stunned it with a club, and strangled it with his bare hands.
Second task was worse.
Wow.
He had to slay the Hydra. It was a massive serpent with many heads. Cut off one and two more grew back. So how did Hercules defeat this creature? Each time he cut a head, he burned the wound shut so it wouldn't grow back. One by one, Hercules completed all 12. But no matter how much he accomplished, the guilt never left him. After the 12 labors, Hercules was
Bro, you know people like this in movies or in real life, right? Bro, when they do something, everybody hates him or her, right? But then no matter what they do, bro, they still get the hate. Okay, so it's like, what am I gonna do? Do I move on or do I just stop these requests to make people think that I'm worthy?
Worshipped as a hero, but he was still unhappy. Later, he tried to rebuild his life. He remarried, but tragedy found him again. His new wife was tricked into giving him a poison cloak. When Hercules put it on, the fabric burned him. The pain was unbearable and he couldn't take it off. So Hercules did something extreme. He threw himself into the fire.
After being completely consumed by flames, Hercules' spirit ascended to heaven. After this apotheosis, Hercules arrived at Olympus, where he was received by his father as a god.
Hercules experienced misery, loss, and guilt. Ironically, kids today grow up idolizing Hercules.
So
they have no idea that the original Hercules lived a life that no one would want. Snow White.
Yo, why did I knew Snow White has a dark story?
1937, Snow White was the first full-length animated film in the US. It took over 750 artists more than 3 years to complete, but the hard work paid off. The movie was a huge success. However, it might not have been a hit if Disney followed the original story. The real story of Snow White was violent and grotesque.
Yo, Chad, did y'all watch the new movie? How much y'all rate it? Because I didn't watch it. Yo, Chad, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking watching the Snow White cartoon, not the movie.
Version was adapted from the Brothers Grimm. In that story, the queen wasn't just jealous of Snow White, she wanted to eat her. She ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the woods and end her. But she also gave him one more instruction. She asked him to bring back Snow White's lungs and liver. The huntsman couldn't do it. He let her go.
Yo, is it me, bro? Why do these people are obsessed with eating humans? Like, bro, in the 18 and 19 whatever. Nah, bro, you know there's animals over there, right? Respectfully, for those vegans. Like, there's animals out there, sheep, cow, lamb, you could eat. Why eating a human being?
Oh, then he took the organs of an animal to the queen, and the queen actually salted and ate them.
Not only did she think Snow White was dead, she thought she ate her lungs and liver.
The story continued. Snow White found the dwarves in the woods. The queen discovered she was still alive, and she tried to end Snow White over and over again, but each time she failed. Finally, the queen tricked Snow White into eating a poisoned apple, and she passed away. Here's where the prince enters the story, but he wasn't the charming hero Disney showed. The dwarfs placed Snow White in a glass coffin. The prince saw the funeral and fell in love with her lifeless body. He begged the dwarves to let him take her to his castle. The dwarves agreed. While the coffin was being moved, the servants stumbled. The glass case shifted. A piece of the poison apple dislodged from her throat. Snow White coughed and came back to life. Snow White didn't return to life because of magic kiss. It was an accident. Snow White married the prince. The queen was invited to the wedding. She didn't realize she was walking into a trap. Snow White wanted revenge. Inside the—
Yo, I know this is a kid's cartoon, but like, if a woman passed away, right, and then you kiss her and then she come back to life, like, boy, it does not make sense. What are you talking about? You're not Harry Potter, bro. Okay, or anyone who kissed someone and then they become alive. Like, what are you doing? Okay, I know this is cartoon, kids cartoon, but like, at least make something, fake it in some, Never mind, bro.
Wedding hall, the guards grabbed the queen. Iron shoes were heated in fire. Then they forced the evil queen to wear the hot shoes. The queen was forced to dance in torment until she passed away. That was the true ending of Snow White. Disney knew this version could never work as a children's film, so they changed it. But the grim version still exists, available for anyone.
No wonder Disney are not dropping cartoons anymore. They got exposed, bro. Like, bro, they dropped the Snow White movie, bro. Horrible, bro. I didn't watch it, but like, bro, that's horrible, bro. I can even speak. That is horrible, bro. Okay, the actor who plays Snow White, bro, the interview, bro, she's like weird
love story
is this one
with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
I think that's why the movie flopped. Okay, but yeah, bro, I feel like Disney has fallen, even though there's a lot of cartoons. But I'm not gonna lie, these cartoons doesn't hit anymore. Okay, YouTube, if you're watching this, please subscribe. Okay, I really appreciate it. Thank you.